Okay, so I hope most of you got to see that video. You got some clues for the session? Did you? So if any of you are feeling that AI is something very alien and something that is very new, something that we do not actually understand, I would ask you to correct or rather rethink your understanding of AI. So we all use a lot of apps day in, day out, right? Let me take a very simple example. You look at Google Photos. Can I ask you, I hope you all have the data connection. For just 1 sec, can you just open your Google Photos and type in, say, beaches or mountains? Can someone with a good connection try? You must have tried it already. So Google, what it does is, when you upload the photos, it actually reads the pictures. And it also classifies and categorizes the images into various baskets. Right? So what kind of technology do you think that is? Image recognition? As simple as that? Okay? So I how many of you are from Hyderabad here, please? Okay, great. So Hyderabad, the airport has recently launched an interesting service. For those who travel, they would not need to carry any documents anymore. All they need is they walk in, they have a huge database of people which is connected to Aadhaar. Okay, you walk in, that system will read your face and recognize the face, and it will try to map that information with the trip itinerary information. If there is a match to the nomenclature, the tag name with the person in the back end of other repository, there you go. You don't need to struggle to carry that long Aadhaar card that you hate to carry all the time when you travel. So that's the kind of world we are moving in. So if you feel that AI is something not now, it will be 2030, 2040, please understand that AI is already here and it's very much part of our day-to-day lives. Now, as a customary session agenda, so this is something that you are going to take away from today's session. I will not be defining AI because I assume that you all know what AI is, but I might just barely touch upon what AI is and where it is helping people and how it is helping our tech writers and also the product designers. And I also, of course, would touch upon the most important aspect of our professional careers, our customers. Okay, so where and how we can help our customers to use the product in a much better way, yes, we would talk about. Now let me just knit back the session. You saw the video, right? Can you think of how much time I would have taken to create that video? Any guesses? Going by the professional luxury that we get at our work, how much time do we get? There are some teams which will take a week to create a video, a day, and some people just create content just on the fly, like I did. I didn't spend more than 8 minutes of my time on creating that whole video. Let me tell you what. I just created a text. Okay, I just created, okay, you call it storyboard. I created on a notepad some 10 lines of text. Then I know of a tool which would convert the text into appropriate video with the right kind of scening, right kind of music, right kind of narration. Yeah, what you missed here is a voice automation, voiceover, you didn't find it, but that also can be auto-generated very much. So what I am trying to tell you is the kind of content that we create, be it textual or visual, and the amount of time that we spend on creating that is going to reduce drastically. Okay, let's get started with the session. So, as you can see, I would also be relating the benefits of AI with the classic Maslow's principle of needs, hierarchy of needs. So, please stay tuned for that. There are, yes, very much live samples that I have been working on. Yeah, Ravi, by the way, I think we would have the formal introduction at the end, I guess. But as you might know, I am Ravi. Ravi Kumar Adapa. I work for Oracle, and I am otherwise known popularly as Alexa Man. I used to hate to be called like that, but I think I started liking that name these days. It's okay. Okay. But during the session today, I wouldn't be talking about any of the research I have been doing on Alexa. So I just told Alexa to just stay away from me during this STC. Okay. So, but I must tell you, my interest in Alexa has has kind of introduced me into something much bigger than Alexa. That's the artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's get started. For most of us, artificial intelligence is something very alien, something sci-fi, something that we get to see only in Hollywood films. And in all cases, even if I were to quote Stephen Hawking, he went on to say, AI is perhaps the best and the last invention humans had to have. Because once you have everything automated, even life and death can also be taken over by AI. And we saw in a lot of movies like iRobo and other stuff. In case you haven't, this is your playlist for next weekend. Okay, so artificial intelligence is always seen as something end of world, something which will take away our jobs, which will create a very destructive future. But today I'm here to talk about how it can actually optimize and augment our human lives. I would be quoting examples from professional and personal lives so that it will be easy for all of us to relate and understand. Yes, we have already been doing this, man. So this is not something new. This is not something we need to struggle to learn. It's the kind of feeling you all should get. So the customary definition, yes. Any guesses? Okay, I'll keep it for you to guess. So what is AI, by the way? Don't read Wikipedia. Guesses, please. Yeah, I got 10 answers already. Yeah, please. Can you pass on the mic, please? Please? That's AI. Yeah, that's going to be the future, by the way, my dear friend. It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Automation, I think, machine learning on their own. No need to feed data. It is not required.
It's for the audience on livecast.
Okay, fine. I think the machine learning on their own without human interference.
Okay.
That's how it is that artificial intelligence learning. The machine are evolving.
Perfect. Yes. So, I would not deal much longer on the definition of artificial intelligence. I would just say treat AI as a just born baby. Okay? Just born baby. Does it know everything? Does it know a thing, by the way? It doesn't. But as the baby grows in age, it observes, it senses, it reads, and it improves its cognitive abilities. Right? So I will just try to relate AI to a just born baby. Initially, AI would not be able to do anything for you. You'll have to train initially. And as people grow in age, they become teens, they become adults, and they are totally on their own. They start taking their own decisions. If I were to compare AI as an industry is in its infancy right now. Okay? And we are going to, as he rightly quoted, we don't need, I mean, you remember, when we started working with machines, there were punch cards initially. There was a keyboard. Then from keyboard, we moved to touch. Then from touch to voice. And maybe in the days to come, I don't even need to touch. I'll have a program which can read my thinking. And if you had read Stephen Hawking's story on the magic machine he has on his wheelchair, that's exactly what it does right now. It's not productized yet. But maybe going down the line, it can be productized. Okay, so let's move on. AI, let me tell you, is something that a machine that can work with human intelligence, almost on par with human intelligence, and which can actually read, understand, sense, visualize, and all those sensory stuff. And as it does, it requires a lot of data ingestion initially. It needs a lot of input material. But as it scales, as it starts, it would need some kind of hand holding like the babies do. But as it grows, it would start operating on its own, and it would start coming up with some wonderful suggestions which can make a difference to you and your businesses. Okay, so moving on. So these are some general examples I have already captured in the video. So Amazon, as simple as Amazon, you may be interested in this product, is actually an algorithm based on your search behavior, based on the previous purchases. Okay, and then you know how Uber works, and how Uber would read the location of the driver and the location of the passenger, and then it runs its own algorithm, then matches the drivers with the passengers. Now Netflix, you know how information or movies are recommended. You might be interested in. Okay, so, and yes, chatbots. We have a whole lot of, I think, sessions on chatbots. I hope chatbots are actually into various categories. They can be as basic as they'll do one job, like I want to book a ticket, from there to much larger use cases, right? And I also talked about the airport, which automatically recognizes your face. So that's nothing but enhanced usage of video surveillance, right? And those who are interested in finances, there are algorithms which will trade stocks based on your interests and recommendations, right? So in future, I think the stuff that we hate to do day in, day out, we will not be doing that. That will be automated. So I was in track 1, so where Sachin was talking about how the procedures that we write can be automated without much effort, and how testing automation can be leveraged to create content. That's a possibility. And today, most of the companies, yes, it is just a beginning. Not many companies are doing, but going forward, imagine you have to write tens and twenties of procedures in a week's time. We know the last minute information requests that we receive. And is it easy to accommodate all the changes in release notes or troubleshooting or the configuration? It's not so easy. But I think going forward, we are going to leverage these automation tools and technologies to help us do our routines better. So yes, when we watch such kind of automation, when we talk about AI, people will always be worried about, oh gosh, are our jobs at risk? I'll tell you, when it happened with the fire, it happened with electricity. I mean, they were and they are still dangerous. But you know how we have started effectively using those dangerous things? And today we have nuclear bombs and nuclear energy too. So don't worry about any technology taking away jobs. As long as you upskill yourself, you are safe, your jobs are safe. Okay, so the bottom line is upskilling is the need of the hour. So one conclusive thought I want to share is, don't think that AI revolution, AI digitization era is somewhere far ahead. We are very much part of this AI generation. We are living AI era already. And the examples do prove a point there, right? Okay, so we talked about the image analysis, and we talked about Alexas, we mentioned about chatbots and Alexas. Then, these are some very popular technologies. These are general use cases for us to understand. Yes. How are businesses using AI? Let's just connect to what we do as part of our jobs. So, are we thinking in the direction to improve our customer experience? How many of you say yes? Right? As part of our content creation, don't we research thoroughly? Right? We do. And as a part of research, collaboration, lot of analysis, requirement and audience analysis, what do? We create knowledge bases. Right? So, as a tech writer and as a tech manager too, you can think of what and how these use cases can help you with your jobs. These are some general use cases, by the way. We haven't yet come to the TechCom examples. So let's see customer service. We create content that helps customers resolve their issues, right? So these are certain general use cases that we can probably think of using. Great. Wow. Wonderful. AI is a big deal. AI is the next big thing. But how does it matter to us? How does it help the TechCom world? Can we leverage the capabilities that AI offers? If so, how do we do that? Where do we get started? So, this will be the one question where everyone would relate to. There is a hype cycle, right? Every now and then. There is a, but it's not just hype cycle. That's called shift. The whole world is shifting. Just think of where we started. We started with printing the guides. Then HTML happened. Yeah, and then PDF happened. Then HTML. And then sharing information on the social media happened. So these are big industry shifts. Haven't we survived all of those shifts? We have. This is another shift. Let's brace up. Okay, so for those who think AI is just a hype, please rethink. Now, these are certain pertinent questions I thought I would cover as part of our discussion today. So, I will be taking some general examples. Let's take as simple as the content that you write. As writers, we all have our preferences. We all have our very unique style of writing. That's personal. It's custom built by you for yourself. And on the other hand, we have our companies, their best practices, their style sheets, standards, approved word lists. And how do you map your personal style of writing with the standard corporate guidelines? Does it take effort or not? It does. What if I tell you, you don't have to think much on complying to the standards anymore. We have tools like Grammarly. How many of you use? There's this very simple Chrome plugin. Just add it, man. Uh, it not only prompts you with the correction suggestions. See, it first identifies the mistakes, then it suggests remedial actions, and these days they have also introduced something called voice and tone. Is the voice neutral? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it pessimistic, optimistic? So please try this. This is a very simple thing, just a plugin on your Chrome browser. And how many of you have this acrolinks? I am a big lover of acrolinks because it helps me write the way my company wants. It helps me write with the right kind of English that aligns with the audience. English UK, English US, English Australia, whatever be that. So you don't have to personally overthink how you write. You keep writing, you save your content, then just do a quick run. Okay, now how is acrolinks and Grammarly how are they related to AI? Do you know every single word that we write is mapped, classified, indexed, organized into a category? Okay, I have some examples I'll share. So let me tell you, AI can certainly improve the quality of our writing. It can also help us create content that the future products would need. And yes, some naysayers are still there, but don't be worried. Okay, let's do a quick check. I'll be sharing presentation on SlideShare, and of course, STC also will be sharing the presentation. Don't go by the visuals that you see here. The fonts are all screwed up. But just let's do a quick check of where we as humans stand better. Machines, I'm sure you all would agree with how calculations, and you know Gary Kasparov was beaten by, you know that. And there was very recent competition where world's best debater was beaten by IBM Watson. You must have read that. Okay? So there are certain things in terms of memorization, in terms of games, in terms of logic, algorithms, computers are way ahead of humans. Do we all agree to that or not? We do. Now, where do we stand equally with the computers? Computers are still struggling to recognize faces. So the next time you upload your photo on Facebook, you know how it auto suggests tag your friend X. 90% cases, it comes up with the right suggestion. 90% of cases. But yes, 10% it's still not as good as humans are. And very interestingly, verbal IQ test is still where humans are doing better. I'll just give you a simple example. Let's take the word once, ONC. I'll give this example more than once. We are all, someone who is from literature and language background, you all know which and how, the parts of speech of the word here, the usage once. I'll give this example more than once. Please think of the different uses as to how once is used. Once upon a time, there lived AI. Okay, so here again, the use of once is used in a different way. I'll not get into the details in the interest of time. So in the verbal IQ test, I think still humans do better. And the basic natural conversation, the socialization, networking, I don't think humans can be beaten on that. Never. You must have heard of Sophia, right? The world's first humanoid. It is trying to match us. Down the line, we never know. Oh, yes. Let's look at where humans are better. Language translation, and yes, one thing of our interest among a lot of other things is writing and conversation. Thankfully, this is something we are still better at. But does that mean anything? I'll keep that open. Okay. So just to answer the first question here, can AI automate content creation? The answer is absolutely yes. As part of this POC on AI, I ran into one page which had around 10 samples of 10 pieces of writing. People, is it written by human or is it written by machine? I have that link. It's already part of the PPT. You can actually take the test yourself. It would have been better if I had run the test, but I think with the machines not so supportive today, where we talk glorifyingly about machines, they're still not supporting us. Let's take it that way. But don't worry, there is a tomorrow, and I'll share the link with you. I would want you to go through that test. You would be surprised that today machines are writing poetry. Can you believe? I'm not talking about tech content. The tech content is more or less structured, organized, and it can be automated. But is poetry like that? That's a creative expression. But there are AI tools which can write poetry for a theme that you select. I'll share that link. You will be amazed once you understand that. And how many of you, okay, if I give one image, you all use Google Lens. Have you used? Right? So you point Google Lens on any image, and if it is if let's say it's an agenda page, for example, if an agenda page is printed and you show Google Lens, you use Google Lens, it will be able to extract the text. That's actually very simple thing. But to be able to write an article about how documentation is vital for customer success, do you think AI can do that? I would say yes. I'll share that link with you. If you take the test, you yourself will realize that the kind of structured authoring we do is pretty much an easy task for AI to do. Okay. And can AI improve quality? Can AI improve me as a writer, as a person? Yes, very much. And how do you think we can engage much better with customers? Let's look at that. CSAT is customer satisfaction, by the way. Okay, so we have these questions related to our industry, TechCom. Let's also look at the parallel worlds. The nature of our work is totally dependent on our products. Now the question we should ask ourselves is, will the products be same? Will the products be as complex? Will we need documentation? I'll tell you, yes, we do need. There is no substitute or no second thought about that. Most of the software products do need documentation. No second thoughts on that. If we need documentation, will it be same Will it be similar to the style we write today? Answer is no. It will be totally transformative. It will be totally different. So let's understand. Today, if I want information, what do? I'll go to Google, I'll click, and I am today happy to click each link and get the information that I want today. But going forward, I must tell you, that's not going to happen. People will not be anymore clicking through these clutter. They would ask about, I need information on X, and our machines, our tools, the content management system and the content discovery. This is a big challenge we are facing, and we will be facing too. We take pride in creating hundreds of pages of content. We all take pride in thousands of pages that each of our guides would have. Do you think in the days to come, or even now, would people have time to go through that long list of HTML topics? Instead, you simply ask, okay, Google, tell me about this. And you will get that information. Today, okay, Google works only till some extent. It is able to give you the conceptual information. But going forward, even the procedural content can be quickly discovered for customers' needs. So I just want to say, product UI is going to change. Probably there won't be any UI going forward. You never know. But I think that is the direction. Zero UI is something very big that most UX designers are these days thinking. Zero UI is similar to what you see on Google. There is just a search box. You go, what do you want to do today? You type, I need information on X, and only the information related to X will pop. Okay. We'll have to think of how we deliver the content also. So just a confirmation, our content should also be AI driven. Let's get started. So the fundamentals of artificial intelligence lie in information architecture. What do you mean by information architecture? We had another session, I think. Yes, some of you have understood what information architecture is. I'm sure there are industry veterans here. We all know what IA is. It's about your content models, right? Your content delivery formats. It's about the information elements, right? There's a lot of meta stuff that goes into information architecture. So the point I would want you to understand is, AI is heavily dependent on the structured content. If the content is not organized, AI will fail. Okay, we were talking about how you need to ingest data, how you need to add the structured content. So when you looked at the Google Photos example, if you type, say, mountain or beach, it will show you only those pictures. If you type wedding, only those pictures will be shown, because that content is already structured into that particular category. Imagine if no one had used those tags. Would it be able to discover that? So I mentioned the content category, content model, metadata, tags. Don't we relate to all of them? When we write a page of content, we have the H1s, we have the H2s and the title, and we have the metadata, meta description, don't we? Let's understand, that's how Google works, right? It reads your content. It understands the structure of your content. That's how it goes by. Okay, so AI, the fundamental point I want to put it here is, it needs content that is structured, organized, indexed. So you need an information architecture, and you also need to make use of metadata. This is an important piece of moving towards artificial intelligence. If you don't have proper metadata samples or framework, no tool would be able to help you. Even Google would fail to uh, discover that particular page. Okay, so we understood that metadata is vital, and this is the kind of metadata we currently maintain. We have the product names, we have the titles, we have the release specific information. I hope you can relate to most of it. Don't we have this metadata already? We do, right? Okay, would this be sufficient? I don't think so. We need next level of metadata to enable AI. Let's see what that is. I'll give you a second. So, the most important piece for enablement of AI is this new generation metadata. If your content can have the context. Context is very, very important today. I'll give you a simple example. If you are on the page, today you open Uber. What's your default location? Hilton, Chennai. Right? If Uber is not able to pick that context, would it be able to help you do anything? You understood the point of context, importance of context here. If there is no context, there is no way you can help your customer going forward with your content or with your product. Okay, so context is critical. And now that context must be mapped to your content. Am I clear, please? Any questions? If you know so and so customer is looking for information on onboarding, or say how do I get started with product X, you should be able to deliver exactly that bunch of information that's helpful there in context, in real time, please. You set your location to Hilton, Chennai now, and you walk out, your location would change. You understand the difference, right? Staying in context is very, very important. And if you can determine the context of your customer and map it to the content with the use of user intent. What do I mean by user intent? Please? Exactly, okay, user intent. So, I'm hungry, that's my intent. Which app do I open? Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm from Hyderabad. What would be my general guess, general intent, or what would be my preference? Biryani. Right? So the intent, if you can figure out, you have to stay in context. You have to have your content already, and you map both of them with the exact intent of your customer. And again, entities. What do I mean by entities? You have Uber already, location X to Y. That X and Y are your entities, locations. Okay? Yes, please. So, excuse me. So, machine learning, NLP, NLU, these are sister concerns, deep learning. So, these are actually part of this AI basket. Okay. There are subtle differences, absolute subtle differences, but I must tell you, in the larger picture, each one enables the other. If I don't understand the natural language, that's NLU, how would I be able to process the language, which is NLP? And there's a new concept that I was totally blown away when I was working on this, NLG. This is totally amazing. Try to read more about NLG, natural language generation. You give the context, you give some keywords, there are now tools, automated insights is a revolutionary company which is converting the text into natural language processing. Yes, please, sir. Can you say that again? Yes. Absolutely. This is computing to next level. Exactly. Now, the only change we could see is with these tech giants like, Google's, Amazon's. So even the common man like you and me is able to work on various use cases. Otherwise, if you were to buy the servers to support the hardware, it's expensive and you would give it up. Today, you don't have to think much. You have ready-made tools. Go to AWS, some wonderful tools are there. My company, Oracle, also has this Oracle Cloud Services. So they have a lot of ready-made plug-and-play products which can help you with the use cases. Okay, so just moving on, the customer context, and then everything has to be aligned here. We had enough examples. Okay, here is something. Yeah. So this is how information is organized and structured. This is an perfect example from how Google Cloud Services, Google's AI services analyze your content. Okay? So they have categorized each word, and then after the next level is their dependency, which one is helping which. So look at the whole map, it looks really complex. But you don't have to work or rather create that kind of stuff. Machine will do it for you. So context is key, and what do I mean by context? So when you understand the customer context, you will deliver the right content at the right place in the right format that he would like based on the personal preferences. A person like me is more visual. I would prefer to watch a video than to read text. So if a tool is able to understand, and when I search for some information, it would probably put the video content above the textual content. Right? So this is what I mean by context. So we talked about information architecture, we talked about content models, and these are the moving blocks, foundation stones, you can say, that can help you go AI way. So what do you need to work on? 5 I's. You have the information already. You will have to think of different interfaces. Interface can be a mobile, interface can be voice, can be chatbot. Today, our content is just limited to docs.ourproduct.com. It's just static published content. But think of how this content can be used for various interfaces. We all know how we moved from the standard page template to responsive page templates to align ourselves to mobile. Okay, so we have to think of how our content can support the newer interfaces. And once the content is delivered on those interfaces, you will be receiving a lot of insights based on which you will develop your own intelligence of your customers and their needs in a much better manner. For this to happen, you need the information. I mean, right now, our content is a monolith. It's just one huge PDF or one, hundreds of HTML pages. It's a monolith. Is it dynamic? Can this be quickly, can we quickly pick item A, item A1, item A3, A4 from 5 different pages? Right now, we can't. Because our content is not molecular. And we, of course, do the API documentation, but do we think of how APIs can be used to call so and so pieces of information from the content that we write today? For those who use data, let me tell you, there are wonderful ways in which you can leverage your meta data-based structure. You can call one P tag, paragraph tag, okay? You can call one, even the molecular. I mean, we talked about glossary some in other session. So you don't actually need to generate a glossary anymore. It will, as Sachin was saying, it will auto-identify the most used common words and it will auto-generate. Okay. So you need new generation content. I did one session last year on micro content. I would draw your attention to that. I have a link added for your future use. Okay. So you need to have content that is dynamic. We are running short of time, so I'll take the questions offline. And for those who are wondering what is I 4.0, that's information 4.0, which is molecular, which is dynamic, which is not something that's pre-delivered, but it is offered. What do I mean by delivered and offered? I gave you one example, right? I want information on this X. You pick A1, A2, A3, A4 from different sources and you deliver it as one unit. It can be how to configure X, how to install X, how to troubleshoot X, how to use X. All of this is now organized into multiple guides. But if the information is provided, the complete information about that is provided in molecules, in nuts and pieces, it will be easy for customer to consume. Right. So just a quick thing. This is information 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. I would leave it for some other day. We can take the questions offline. So one conclusion to draw from this is your content need to be structurally rich, semantically organized, and it should be above everything discoverable. So this is something I have created as a content continuum where we have two users, two human elements, a happy writer and a happy customer, and how the needs of a customer are understood by a writer and how he realizes the content goals and how he maps the content goals with the requirements of the customer and the whole journey here. I'll just give it a pause here, just a quick 2 sec. Any one piece of information that you want me to cover? So just to clearly tell you, you have a happy customer there and his needs will have to be understood by us as part of the user journey, okay? And that user journey would help us create content. And that content, of course, has to be aligned with the content goals of your organization, okay? And then you offer that content for consumption, based on which you get analytics and insights and intelligence of your customer. Do we actually use that piece of information that we get from analytics? We don't. It's just a read-only stuff right now. But we have to act on that. Right now, it requires a lot of time and energy for writers and managers to look at, understand, analyze the analytics content. What if there is a tool which can automatically say, automagically say that this particular piece of information is not getting any traction, or this particular piece of information is now consumed heavily by customers of so and so version. So the conclusions, your machine can just say this is the situation. What you make sense out of, you may think of creating a video if the customers are finding it difficult. You might think of coming up with a new format of content, can be an infographic, can be whatsoever. So that decisions are still human driven. But I must tell you here, I quoted that automated insights, right? The system will read the content and the data. It will automatically tell you the actions, the possible actions that you can try A, B, C, D actions. It will auto suggest you. Okay. So the content model has to evolve now. This is where we are today. We have to consider the needs of new generation customers. People don't want to go through the monoliths anymore. They want dynamic, much needed content, just enough content. Okay, no information overload is acceptable to customers. They need the right information right now in the right format. And that's it. They don't want all the general gyan. Right. So the interactive content, we talked about how some of the content can be transformed. I'll give you a word of caution here. We can't actually transform all the content to support this delivery model. We will have to identify niche use cases, maybe troubleshooting content, maybe something that customers are finding difficult to use. Identify those cases, then offer it on the interactive platform, chat, voice, bot, whatsoever. And most importantly, the information 4.0, think of a situation. You just go ask for X, you get only X related information. Nothing more, nothing less. And today, we spend a lot of our energies onto publishing, then creating a bookshelf. All of it may not be needed. Everything is, customer would come, he will click something, and in the back end, all those content molecules, pieces can be automatically populated as one unit and can be published just to suit his need, just when he needed. That's the kind of direction we all should go. And to help us in this journey, AI can be a big help. So let's look at some benefits here. So these are typical journey, writer's journey, I would say. We create content going by the standards, by the guidelines, and of course the deadlines too. And today, if I want to write content, let's understand our nature of work. Our work is more or less extremely organized. You have a feature to document, right? Maybe 10 features, 20 features, but you still have some clarity. Let's think of some new generation content. Maybe this is an example for content marketing world. So which topic should I write? Is that our day-to-day struggle today? No. But tomorrow, maybe that can be part of our journey. Which topic should I write? If I write on topic B, which does not have any takers, why do I need to write on topic B? So that kind of insightful information, if you can have, you can channelize your energies. So that's content creation. Then you have content governance too. So what do you mean by content governance? You have people, you have processes to follow, you have some conditioning, you have some guidelines. Everything has to be adhered to, right? So we have tools we talked about Grammarly, we talked about Acrolinks, and there can be so many tools which can help us write without having to worry about this governance part. It's all taken care by tools, again driven by AI. Then analytics. We have analytics even today, but what we do out of analytics can be suggestions coming from AI. And we can also profile our customer. Is he naive customer, savvy customer, amateurish? We already have user roles, personas, okay? And we can profile them, and next time they come and search, probably give them what they want. Right, maybe we can think of optimization is we can think of retiring some content, or maybe not translate content into so and so language. If there are barely 10-20 visitors for that content, why do you need to translate that into that particular, say, French or Japanese? AI can tell you without effort. Even today we can do that. We all can do that. But we need to spend a lot of time. So I was just showing that video, right? Video can be created by human. Maybe I would have taken 3 days, 4 days. All I did, 8 minutes. Straight, there you go. Okay, so everything can be done in a much better, faster manner. So it can help us make a better writer, can help us become more efficient, and can understand our customer, and we can understand our customer better. And with that understanding, we'll be able to personalize content. This is the key. I was talking about no general, everybody use this shit. Content is not going to be acceptable. Personalize, I want this, I need only this. Give him only that much of information. Personalized. Then, yes, we talked about that automated content. So what I understood is, it is going to make our lives much easier, much better. No way it's going to replace us. No way. But one point we should think of is, we have to upskill ourselves, and we have to come up with something new that machines cannot do. And customers also have benefits. This is a bunch of benefits. They would get just relevant content. They would get they question, they get answers. Only that much through digital assistants, contextualization and personalization, self-service and onboarding. Maybe in the days to come, support tickets won't exist anymore. But that's an idealistic world. We would still have service and support issues. Yeah, these are customer benefits, and these are broader benefits of AI. I thought I would quickly ask people about one of the biggest problems they are facing and relate that and come up with some quick solutions, and then show the problems that can be solved by AI. Since we are running short of time, I'll quickly show you the samples of use cases here. So let me take a simple example. Publishing cadence. How often do you publish, please? Monthly, weekly, daily? Yearly. I will envy those guys. Okay, we have those cadences, right? But there are companies which publish n times a day. N times. If that were to happen, can we do that as humans? That has to be automated. So the total doc ops, publishing, doc engineering can be done with the automation. Okay? Then this is another important piece. Do we do a quick analysis of how content is adding value to our companies? How do we demonstrate to our management that content ROI is a big deal? Return on investment. Most times, we are treated as a cost center. I would tell, we are not a cost center, we are a profit center actually. Think of how often your content has minimized the tickets. Each ticket would cost $20 on a minimum scale. $20 into hundreds of tickets. I'm talking about low-level problems which can be resolved by content. So L3, L4s can be totally handled by content. If we can do that analysis as to how content is improving the value, or rather adding value to company, if we can do such calculators, I'm sure that that is something we should demonstrate to our management. Okay. And this is the last piece. We have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then we have that mapped to, I think, we spend a lot of time and energy on customer efficiency, customer success. The one piece that I think we should work more, word of suggestion for all managers here, employee productivity and ease. If you can fix this one problem area, the magic will happen. Everything can be sorted. You take care of your people and people will take care of everything. So just a thought, ask yourself where you are and what's one big problem you want to solve. I have a demo, but I'm sorry I won't be able to show. But the essence of demo is this. We talked about zero UI, which I mean by intelligent navigation. Even not just content, even products would have zero UI. There won't be any breadcrumbs, there won't be a lot of feature listing, capability listing, nothing. People will come, I want to do this X today. They will be able to go through that workflow quickly. That is zero and intelligent navigation. Then based on the navigation, they will be prompted to take suggestions. I talked about context, right? So if I open, let's say today I'm here in Chennai, that's the context. The places you can see. Google will always suggest, right, the places you can see and the places you can go to eat. So that will be intelligent suggestions and actions. And it not only shows the map, it also helps you make some bookings on Ola. Okay. Then we can have conversations through digital assistants. You ask for something, you get it. The demo would have actually helped you understand what I mean by this. That's for, I think you can check it up on SlideShare. I'll be sharing this PowerPoint. So Oracle is already doing some stuff. We have Knowledge Advance, and then we have Digital Assistant. We also have AI Voice. This is complete bunch of links. You can spend maybe a week. But I would draw your attention to this New York Times assessment. The first link, do take, you will be amazed, I'm sure. And also read more about NLG. I think, yes, how may I can help you, right? I can help you outside this room. We are almost running out of time. So you can tweet and share your feedback. These are my coordinates. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. It was a wonderful session. This is for you.
Thank you. We will, please don't go. We will do a quick session selfie.